You're still the one I need. Ooh, the only one I need. Ooh, you're still the one I need. Oh, Yep, it's your man, EddyEd, the Duke.
Hey, and you've got your host today, D for Dialogue.
Okay,
Welcome
son.
to the building. This is the Holy Duo, and this is our podcast. Hey, remember, find us on social media platforms, audio exclusive platforms. Find us on YouTube.
Episode
Holy
18.
Duo 2020. Yeah, this is episode 18, y'all. Remember, we're just two guys having a conversation. We're just airing out our thoughts and perspective on certain subjects. So if you have a specific topic that you'd want to provide for the Holy Duo to discuss on, please let us know in a comment section, in the emails. We'll talk about it and we'll have fun doing it too. Yeah. So with that being said, how's your week, man? Holy Duo HD.
Man,
Holy demonic moments, man.
you already know what's going on with this week, but week has been phenomenal, man. Back in the gym, free-minded, a lot of pressure's off my chest. I got a lot of things to do that I want to knock out on my plate that I'm going to be able to knock out. I'm really just being patient, tracking my next moves. It's going to be a fun time, man. I'm looking forward to the cast, to the podcast growing and more ears listening. So that's another thing that we're working on as well. So you guys follow us on social media, man. We enjoy doing this. So just a lot of different things that I'm looking forward to seeing, for the future, hopefully the near future. Man, I'm feeling good today. I'm feeling real good. As you can see, I got the banana yellow on. I'm feeling real good, man. I can't expect the joy in my spirit is from the Lord today.
Yeah. Amen. That's always good, man. It's always about perspective. Glass half empty or glass half full. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, no demonic moments. Yeah,
I'll take the demonic moment because I have a demonic moment. I don't have a holy moment.
No holy moment. Wait, hold on. Come on, man. Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh, I guess you could call that a
See,
moment.
bro, guys, y'all should know D is from Charleston, Queens, bro.
Charleston, Queens.
Bro, he getting fresh meat. He getting fresh meat delivered. I had to remind him of this luxury that he has that he doesn't even see, guys. Who gets freshly farmed meats delivered to their house? He got freshly cut Philly cheesesteak cuts delivered at his house, man. He making Philly cheesesteaks from scratch, fresh bread and all, bro. Everything from the earth, son. And he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "Oh yeah, the Philly cheesesteak." Huh?
Okay, so I guess so my wife made some Philly cheesesteak from scratch.
There we go.
The bread, the meat is from the farm. The only thing we didn't make from scratch are the vegetables. But come on, who can make vegetables from scratch? Anyway, it was great. It tasted great.
And why wasn't that included off the bat? Maybe I'm too much of a foodie or something. I don't know.
You might be too much of a foodie, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, I enjoyed it probably as much as you would have enjoyed it too. But I just forgot about it. I just forgot about it, man.
I'm over here calling them up and like, bro, I'm a little bit jealous about the Philly cheesesteak cuts, bro. Cause I'm hungry too. I want some.
Yeah, you're a foodie, man. You're a foodie. I don't go to bed dreaming about Subway sandwiches and stuff like that, but he's on another level. This guy orders 2 burgers sometimes from restaurants. Who does that? For real, who does that? Is that normal? Do you think that's normal?
Oh, that's good. That's good right there.
It ain't normal, man. It ain't normal. Nah.
Hold on, but you said you go to bed dreaming about footlongs?
You go to bed dreaming about Subway. See, I said Subway sandwiches. He brings in the footlong.
Hey, man.
What's with you and footlong stuff?
What's with you and footlong stuff?
I didn't say it. You did. What?
I'm trying to make sure you're not having dreams about footlongs out here, dog.
I'm not. I'm definitely not. We established that you're the foodie. He even brought up my hey man, let's move before this becomes a demonic moment for the both of us. Hey,
Okay.
so my demonic moment, man. I was on YouTube watching a video and advertisement comes up and it's kayak. You know kayak, right? The thing you can book hotels and stuff on.
Oh yeah, yeah, the app.
Yeah. And it's a commercial about a divorced couple. The wife and the ex-husband are in the pool and the wife has her current boyfriend or husband in there. I think her current boyfriend. And I was like, are these people trying to normalize divorce? Like, are they trying to make divorce like funny? Okay.
Man.
You know, it was really weird to see and sit and think about. Because if that offends you, what I'm saying about divorce, just sit and think about it. Just think about it. Like, is it okay for companies to be trying to make divorces okay? Because at the end of the day, the company, all they want to do at the end of the day is fill their pockets, make money. They want to go along with what is in the culture, what people are trying to,
Yeah.
normalize. And
Yeah,
then
like what's trending and what's
exactly,
acceptable, socially acceptable, stuff like that.
and then make money off of it. So I just found it really, really weird. Like, that's not their place. You're supposed to be advertising hotels and booking from your website, not using social issues to make your money. That's just a really dirty commercial that I saw, and that was a demonic moment to heck. Um, this topic is would you let your kids date in high school? Part 2. Wait, no, you're supposed to be looking that way.
Yeah.
Oh, you're looking that way?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. You see it?
I I mean, it might be gone by now.
Oh, that's true. All right. But would you let your kids date in high school? Part 2. And we talked about this in episode 15. It may be the first topic, but we didn't get to touch on everything. So, jumping back into that topic, would you I have some pointers here, and I'll remind you about them. We talked about how would you explain not dating to your child in high school, right? We talked about let me not talk about that. The the girl moving out, taking advantage of her opportunities in education, starting her career out of state, away from the home. Would you let your kids know to let you know when they're dating? Not go fall in love and then come tell you they're dating. We talked about that a little bit. If you want to touch on that
Yep.
too, would you want to meet their parents? The friendship level of someone they like. How would you feel about that as the father? The guys, we're talking about traditional style of parenting here. We're not talking about modern day progressive type parenting. So
Nah, we ain't talking about that. Oh, bring in a lion if you want to. As long
yeah,
as
you guys can sleep over here. It's safer for you to sleep here.
Yeah.
For
Be
him
in
to
the
sleep
bed.
over.
Yeah, let it and let the lion have his lion parts out
Oh
and all that
man, yeah.
and all
What?
that. Like, hey man,
What do you say here,
I
man?
don't see it'll make sense, right?
Yeah, you're right. It
Don't
doesn't make
make
sense.
Whatever, bro.
So what if your kid, and this is the one of the topics that I didn't touch on with you. How would you feel if your daughter or your son came to you and said, "Dad, I'm so like in love with him or her. I can't help it. Like, I really, really like him." And then you meet this person and you're like, "This is trash." How would you handle that?
What the?
Yeah. Huh?
No, but actually seen a prank video on YouTube from I don't want to shine any make any. So I'm not trying to let people go watch him, so I'm not gonna say his name
All
of his
right.
channel. But I seen a YouTube video where dude was doing a prank on some young lady's dad. The prank was he poses as basically a bad boyfriend, and so her dad comes to finally meet him for the first time of their dating relationship. The dad comes into his house and meets her for the first time, and basically he pretty much disrespects the daughter in front of the dad. Now the whole thing was to get the dad pissed off and to see what the dad does and how the dad reacts. Well,
Yeah.
as you may imagine, dad was not happy. The dad was putting hands on the guy, talking to him at first, getting aggressive because the boyfriend was getting aggressive to the daughter. So what did dad do? The dad defended his daughter, protected, so he got his hands put on him. So, but the point is, the dad did not like what he saw. So he was not accepting of that, and he made some kind of action toward, intercepting. And he even told his daughter, "Hey, this type of guy you want to be with, blah blah. I'm not allowing you to, I'm not accepting this. I'm not gonna accept you, to be with. I'm not gonna let you do that. You know what I mean? You like basically." You would have to forcibly go against his will to be with the guy. That'd be upon your own head top.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So from that example, if I know and I see the person is trash, oh yeah, nah, you're not doing that. Of course, we all know they can go behind your back and do it anyways. We're not saying that's still not possible. But what you're not gonna get from me is that acceptance. What you're not gonna get from me is that freedom to do that. I'm gonna be the king in the castle, guarding the gates. You see what I'm saying? So you're gonna know if you're coming to me, you're gonna get these defensive arrows. I'm gonna defend what's right and give you what you deserve. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna allow you and accept a home invasion with all these new ideals and to throw away what the reality is and what's best for this kingdom, for this castle that I'm building. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to you're gonna have to go and do this on your own in exile, meaning you gotta go behind my back to do it for me to for it to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's in my vision, I'm saying no. We don't want any of our future kids to be in a situation where they're suffering, and so just as a parent, it's in your best interest that your son or daughter are in the best situation that they can possibly be in.
Of course, even if your daughter is dating someone who's a jerk, I'm pretty sure the jerk's parents wouldn't want your daughter with the jerk.
Yeah, if the jerk's parents have any sense and they're conscious human beings.
Exactly. Yeah. Man, this topic could go deep because now I'm thinking about it can be a difficult thing if you haven't brought up your kids to understand certain ways of how to interact and how to be approached. Say your daughter who is in high school, guys are going to be hitting on her, guys are going to be trying to get into her pants and whatnot. How would you advise her to handle that situation? A guy is really trying to date her and stuff.
You threw me off a little bit when you added the hit on her and so on and so forth.
Yeah, trying to flirt. I mean, you were in high school. You flirted here and there.
Yeah. So like like trying to flirt in a way of being stupid or
try to be friends first. And when you see this, you can tell this guy is trying to squeeze his way into your daughter's life. You know how guys try to be slick. Try to be friends with her first, and then.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting point because there's two versions I see. There's the one that's really going in with good intentions, and there's ones that just going in with, hey man, I see what
Guns
I like,
ablaze.
and I wanna, what I'm saying, I wanna get up in there. So there's two different versions. Obviously, the bad version, you don't want anything to do with that, and the good version, you kind of don't want anything to do with that, but you could see the potential. I would really teach her to understand where she is in life, and then further examine the person that's trying to come after her, where their head is, and so on and so forth. Not to say that that I'm be okay with them dating in what, high school,
Yeah.
but it's to say what, get for her to understand how to filter and how to examine people, specifically to um, future things such as marriage, right? You know, really trying to figure out the person, So I would gear that type of common sense in that way, so that she can know what to ask, what to look for, so that for future things such as marriage, you know what you're getting into, you know who the person is better, and you're not in a clumsy situation. If the guy's trying to just smash and dash, that's clumsy. If a guy's trying to, smash eventually with no commitment, that's clumsy. If a guy wants to just be girlfriend and never marry, or boyfriend and never marry, that's clumsy. So just seeing where the guy is on that side of things will help you understand what will go on presently, and then what can come along later on. So that's another combination too. I mean, what are your thoughts, on this?
So how I would advise my daughter to handle a guy flirting with her. If he's really trying to get with my daughter, I'd be like, okay, he's trying to get with you. Ask him to come over for dinner.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'll tell her to ask him to come over for dinner, so we can get to know him. If he doesn't want to come over for dinner, but he still wants to pursue my daughter, that's disrespectful. At least, I got to meet his parents. Where are his parents' head at? That's the thing about high school, bro. Is most guys, most guys in high school don't have good intentions when it comes to dating. Most guys just want to get it in when they date in high school.
Oh
They
yeah, man.
Yeah, they want the girlfriend, they want the looking good together, walking down the hallway.
Yeah, bro. I remember a lot of kids used to love the idea of being that one couple.
Yeah.
Like, for what, bro?
Yeah. For like, if you think about it now, it's like, what was it really all about?
For
You
what? For
know,
people to say, "Oh yeah, they're the best couple. They look great together."
yeah. Going to football games together,
So sorry, man.
so going to concerts together, hanging out together, going to prom and stuff together, homecoming. It's it's really pointless, but to a high schooler, it's a big deal, right? So how do we bring knowledge and wisdom to that? Is to be a part of their lives. Is to be as part of their lives as much as possible. That's an interesting thing about being a father, is like, if you have a girl, there's a sense of protection that you give your daughter that a mother can't be, simply because you're the father. It's really interesting how that dynamic works. Like, mom is the loving one, dad is a strong, strict one. Some families may have those roles reversed a little bit. Like, I know some cultures, those roles are reversed, but that's hearsay. That has nothing to do with where I'm going. If your daughter comes to you and it's like, oh, he likes me and stuff, I don't know, man. That's a difficult thing. But
it is difficult.
yeah, I would always ask to meet the boy, to assess where he's at. I would ask my daughter, if this is someone you really want to date, would he be someone you would want to marry? Secondly, does he have a desire to work? Does he want to work? Where does he want to go with his life? And that's the thing, though, because after high school, things can change. Oh, I don't want kids anymore. Oh, I don't want to be married anymore. That's why it's so difficult to date in high school, because that stage of maturity, as to where you are grounded and you know exactly what you want, it doesn't happen until a little bit after high school. It's a difficult thing to judge. If you're having your daughter not hold the man or the boy accountable, but to stand her ground in a standard to which marriage requirements are met, which we've talked about this in a podcast, but I don't know which episode. Yeah, what are marriage requirements? And then you build from there. You establish the marriage requirements, and then anything else that comes after that, they can figure out. But, and this is a question I haven't asked you, how long would you let your daughter who's in high school date a boy who's also in high school before you're like, y'all have to get ready to marry? Even in college.
I think the college one is more trickier.
How long would you let that go on for until you're like, all right, young man, you got to get your reins together?
Well, that's a tough one because...
It is a tough one.
Because, that depends. Here's what I have seen. I have seen some young couples get married after high school. I've seen that. And I'm like, wow, really? They really did that? I've seen this with more of the country folk. Kids that are from the country or that have been brought up with the country, family-oriented lifestyle, right? Okay. Which their parents probably got married in high school or after high school. So they have a certain they have those type of people have different values, different work ethics, and they can get things working differently, versus somebody from a different background, that may not have the same values as far as family, as far as how they're gonna make it, and the togetherness, which can make it difficult. So coming out of high school, they probably like all through high school and even probably middle school, they've been working on something. So they have this plan type of thing based on family values, right? Because a lot of the country folk are handsy. You know what I mean? A lot of guys would work with their hands, so they're already working. You know what I'm saying? They're working after school during the summer. They've been stacking up their bread. That's what I think they, based on what I've seen. So when I've seen those type of people come out of high school and get married, it makes sense because they already have something going. They have something going to where they can provide in that for financial way, and they might be in a better headspace or better trajectory, providing the emotional support as well. Probably, I'm not saying it's 100%, but it just seems more up to speed, in a way. But let's say the person is not like that doesn't have that background, that family stuff like that. That'll be real tough because the question is, does he have something going? Is he working? Is he able to sustain, a normal life for himself? It's going to be important for them to do what they need to do, and you wouldn't want to do that if you're not ready at a certain capacity, because things are going to be tough when you can, I guess, wait to be in a better position. And I know there's talks about that, right? A lot of people, I've heard some people say, and I don't want to get too deep into in this side, but I heard some people say, oh, you don't need married or you don't need money to get married. And I always struggle to understand exactly what they mean by that, because they don't explain, they don't elaborate on what they mean. They just say it. A lot of them mean you don't need a lot of money to be married, and that's true. And then a lot of them mean, oh, you can be in a tough situation and still get married, which won't be the smart to do, obviously. And the first one is true, but you won't be thriving as you may vision in your head, but you can still make ends meet and so on and so forth. You just don't have extra to do anything else with, you know what I'm saying? Or like you might not be able to make something, but you can if you put the pieces together and don't go out to eat, or you know what I'm saying? Are they going to be emotionally, financially, spiritually ready? We got to look at those things before, because always in every situation it seems like first comes love, then comes, you know what I'm saying? We know they're going to say they love each other and they want to be with each other. Yeah. That's going to be obvious. But what's going on with you guys in those areas, spiritually, financially, and mentally? Are you ready to take this on, or is it just a thing that's fantasized?
Yeah, that's some good points. What do you call it? If someone that young wants to get married in high school, yeah, those would be the basic points. Spiritually, where are you at? Where do you want to be? Financially, where are you at? What do you want to learn? Um, and then your emotional competence as a man. They say men don't need to be emotional, but and whatever. Every man is on a different level of emotional expression, but your ability to be emotionally competent, not not in expressing yourself necessarily, but understanding where the woman may come from, and that takes time. That takes time, and all of that really is built on the background of the young man who wants to pursue your daughter. What are the parents like? What is his household like? Where does he come from? Is he
Uh-huh.
spoiled? Does he, you know, jingle his bells? Those type of things, man. Um, those that's a big deal. I was actually talking to Mr. T yesterday about that a little bit. When it comes to the guy side, it's a little bit different. If you have a son, right? It's different.
It's a little bit different, yeah, because
Cause yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh no, no, let me not interrupt what you got going on. Go ahead.
If it's your son, you obviously can see and you can monitor and you can help bring him up in the way that you see fit for him getting married to a woman. And if you're doing that for your son, that's already a great step. Most parents don't do that, don't bring their son up in order to be that pillar in the marriage, or to even pursue marriage in that way, or even to know who to pursue to marry in that way. So if you have a son, and I would be more comfortable with my son going out and vetting uh, girls or women to see if they would be viable for marriage, because I would have started him on that. I would have given him principles and values and characteristics to look for in that. What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's also a different protect protective perspective. Like the perspective of protection for a son is different than how you would do it with the lady or the daughter. It's different protect. It's different protection there. You know, the protection with the lady might be more so physical protection. You know, the protection with the man, although it don't seem like it, might be more emotional slash financial protection. Hey, don't be spending your money on girls you're not committed to, or hey,
Yeah.
don't be give yourself to, like, because he physical protection isn't the concern with the guy,
Mm-hmm.
but it is with the lady. So it's different types of protection when it comes to the father protecting either a son or a daughter. You know,
Yeah. How long would your kid be dating someone before you wanted to meet their parents? I think we may have covered this before, but I forgot what you said.
man, I would say as soon as possible, man. Like once
Yeah.
I know that they're serious, you know,
Right.
yeah, as soon as possible. But if it's a thing where I think we gave an example before, like the scenario where the person is or the kid is in college, and we don't know what they're doing because we're not around. But once we find out, hey, you know what, Dad, I like this girl, or vice versa. Until they make that announcement and we're aware, we're gonna try to set something up. You know, let's meet
Yeah.
them. Let's meet the parents. All that good stuff.
I agree. I agree with that. For me, as soon as possible, preferably before they start dating. Because people are like, what? You'd want to meet the person's parents before they start dating? What if they break up? Well, if they're dating, hopefully they're not dating to figure out whether or not they can break up. Hopefully they've already laid out that foundation as to what is the pillar of, first of all, what dating is for and what marriage is. So once they've laid out that pillar before they start dating, when they start dating, they are on the road to marriage. They're making their road to marriage. Then it's not normal dating anymore. Then you don't really have to worry as much about what if they break up, because you know exactly why they're not dating to figure out the other person. They're dating really to make it toward marriage at that point. So of course I'd want to meet their parents before. The other question I have, we got 2 minutes. Oh man, the other question I had for you is, how would you feel about arranging your child with someone to marry from a younger age? Not when they're babies or anything, but
Yeah, I feel good. I feel great about that because you already know the parents, you already know the family. You know, you guys are associated, so it's like, within the protective realm. The protective environment that you have, produced in a way. And so it's easy to keep track of things. You know, and so
yeah.
doing it kind of set, or trying to orchestrate things that way is a really good standpoint from my perspective.
Arranged marriage is such a crazy term to talk about, and we could do another topic on just arranged marriages, because that's a very complex thing. How do you make sure that your daughter or your son is continuously invested in the other person's daughter or son, while the other person also has to make sure their daughter or their son is continuously invested in your daughter or your son? How do you keep that commitment there? Because in today's society, at 15, 16, young boys, young girls start seeing other young boys and young girls, and they, the hormones. And I'm saying in today's age because social media. So, for someone who would want an arranged marriage for their child, how do you go about that? How would you even go about that? You'd have to really sit and plan with the parents. And it's not like in the times of old where the arranged marriages are for political reasons, whether it be livestock, resources, or any of those things. Today's arranged marriage would specifically be to make sure that your son or your daughter marries someone who is a strong person in either your religion, your perspective, your politics, those kind of things. So it's changed a bit. So we could definitely explore that topic in the future. You have anything else to add before we move forward?
Man, nothing else, man.
And it's crazy. So what is your topic number 2? What were you thinking? Yeah.
We always go through jobs, life, whatever it is. At some point, at some time, we had moments, or even probably still go through moments, doing things that we feel like we have to do to please somebody. Like being in a situation where you're doing something probably only because you want to please somebody for that service, or doing it to let them see you so that they can be pleased by what you're doing, right? So my question is, did you ever struggle with having to please people all the time? And if so, why was it like that for you? And if not, why wasn't it like that?
I wouldn't say all the time, but I would say a certain point in time I was trying to fit in. Namely, my freshman year in college. Bro, from first day, bro, college is wild. What? You mean to tell me we're just going to throw a bunch of kids together in a dorm? They don't even know each other. My dorm was an L shape. So on this wing, there's the guys. You turn the corner, there's the girls wing.
It was right there?
It was right there, man. It was weird. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's access to the buns, to the hot cross buns, bro.
Yeah. But see, you don't want to do that, because then you got to spend a whole year living in the same hallway with someone. You know what I'm saying?
You done had a couple buns in the building. So
but you would think that you have access to all buns. But once you touch a bun, the rest of the other buns don't want to be touched by you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you have access to all the buns.
Hey, but what if you that guy?
That's not a good thing, man. That's not anything to be jealous about. That's horrible.
Yeah. It's not a good thing, but they might have access though. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
nice. I don't give a crap if they have access to all the buns in the world. I don't give a
That's-
crap. I don't want nothing to do with that guy. Ew. It was difficult fitting in because I'm coming from high school where I didn't really necessarily fit in with anyone but people who were in my culture, so to say. And then you get to college, it's
Hey,
like,
ready?
yeah. You know, my roommate, thankfully, was someone whom I knew in high school. We played soccer together, so I knew him.
What? Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Crazy story, man. Maybe one day I'll tell it.
Yeah, man.
Crazy
Yeah, I definitely
story,
want to
bro.
hear that.
Yeah,
Hey,
dude.
hey,
Oh my
hey.
goodness.
If y'all want Wild Out Wednesdays to come back, drop it down below, man.
Yeah, if y'all want this one to be a while out story, we can definitely do that.
Definitely let us know, man.
Yeah, so across the room, across our anyway, I try to fit in. I had a guy playing football who lived right next to my dorm, and that was an interesting dynamic. It was crazy. I was trying to be in the medical program. So these are all
Oh,
new
snap.
people.
You was trying to be in a medical program?
Yeah, I was trying to be a pharmacist. And I said freak that.
He was about to be Breaking Bad out here.
Yeah.
yo.
So I struggled with pleasing people because who am I? Like, I'm from high school coming into college. Who am I? Like, how do I get to know these people and fit in with them? And I struggled with that at that point because if they don't like me, they're not gonna like me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I can't have them not like me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird, right? Because once you've grown, once you've matured as a person, you're like, your mindset becomes, if they don't like me, that's fine. Why would I want them to like me anyway? That's not a friendship I'd want.
Exactly.
If I don't like someone, and if I see someone's true personality and I don't like them, why would I want them to cover up their personality in such a way that I would like them now? That's so weird.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that point? Because when we're younger, we don't get that. We don't get, why we shouldn't try to, I guess, pursue a friendship if they don't like you back. But then
Yeah.
even now, as people are still adults, in some aspects, they still struggle with that. Like some people, there's some personalities and some people that just want everybody to like them. That's a different case, but that happens in adulthood as well. And
Yeah.
I guess it could be a learned way of behaving with or associating with people that could translate. If you don't mature and stop it in its tracks, it'll just ride out.
Yeah, it'll go off the rails. I would say there's an aspect of that in my adulthood that still, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but it's like when I'm talking to people, I'm good at bringing up conversation, but sometimes it gets to a point where it's like, can I just be okay with the silence? Why are you laughing? That's a real thing that I deal with.
Oh, meaning like you not talking, can you be okay with you not talking? Or no?
Not that specifically. If I just met you at a party and we're having a conversation and then all of a sudden the topic kind of ends, I don't have a problem with not saying anything. But do you feel awkward?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then I try to fill in what I think you're feeling by bringing up something. You see?
Bro, that is exactly what I used to really have a problem with, and even still at the same time
I struggle with it.
It's still some struggle there because I'm not feeling awkward about it, but I can feel your
Yeah.
awkwardness about it, so I try to cover for you in the conversation.
Exactly.
I get it, bro, because that happens. Because
It's a weird thing.
it's those moments where it's like, okay, like you just said, that's actually real funny. I'm okay with not saying anything else and just like, either being silent or moving on. But because the conversation ended, it's now this thing of, do I keep talking or do I not say anything? And so I could feel that struggle in your presence of you like trying to figure out, okay, what do I say next? That I feel it so much to the point where it's on me. Now I feel like I gotta say something so that you won't feel awkward.
Yeah, exactly. I don't feel awkward, but I think you feel awkward.
Yeah, so now it's kind of making me a little bit feel awkward because I feel it
Yeah, exactly.
from you, you know?
It's a very strange thing. And I
Yeah,
think that's a
man.
sense of trying to please people all the time. I don't know. How do you go about solving that? Like, I guess it's just practice, right? You just have to practice.
Yeah, man. Cause I'll tell you what, coming to college and being on my own and having to, communicate with people more. I remember I had this friend. I'm not gonna say his name, but he actually helped me in a way to get
Julio.
over to get over our. What'd you say?
Julio.
Oh, he kind of helped me in a way to get over awkwardness because he was so awkward. It was normal. Like the way he would do things in conversation and interaction, it'll be awkward. Like, but he exposed me to so much awkwardness, and I've been in so many awkward situations. It was like normal. I could still see it, but I was okay. It was normal for me to see. You know what I mean?
But did you accept his awkwardness because you knew he was awkward versus someone whom you know isn't awkward but is doing what he does?
Ooh, that's the interesting one too because at times, so most of the time I believe that's just how he was, but then sometimes I did sense that he felt awkward in situations. But he was so good, he was so normal with awkwardness that even though I sensed that he felt it, he was able to navigate it as if it wasn't that awkward. So he made it less awkward, even though it was clearly awkward. You know what I
How do
mean?
you make silence less awkward? How do you make the other
Um,
person feeling like how you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you kind of you either want to walk away from the from talking to me right now, or you want us to
bro,
talk about something else.
usually it will just boil in it, bro. Um, because it actually would happen with action. So either, you know, I'm trying to think of a scenario that we've been in that was awkward, but we were all in one space that we just couldn't leave the like. You just can't get out because obviously that's gonna be well, like why the heck are you leaving, right?
Yeah.
But um, in those situations where we couldn't just get up and leave, it was just silent for a moment. We just didn't say anything until somebody actually wanted to bring up something else. It just sat there, bro, and see like going through that so many times with him and all that good stuff. Just learning that hey, you know what? Although it might feel awkward to me to have an abrupt silence, it's all right to not have anything to say for moments and then come back, but it still doesn't feel. It feels like you should have a constant flow of conversation with no breaths, and you know that part of it diminished versus sitting down in that silence in the moment where it felt awkward. So I guess how we handled it was just sitting in it. We just sat in it, man.
That's
You know.
crazy to me.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and so and so it picked up for me to where it became more normal, and it didn't cut it, and I guess it did half and half kind of, meaning like I may have been able to spot it out versus
Mm-hmm.
not when people felt it, because I think I got to a stage where I guess I guess I was awkward in conversation when it came to the pauses that maybe people felt that I was so used to that I didn't even realize. But maybe it was like that. And then there probably times where I felt it and saw it. You know what I'm saying? How it felt for others to navigate that awkward silence or whatever it may have been in the conversation. So I've been in stages where I believe I was blind to it because I've gotten used to it, and then times and moments where it was blatantly obvious, where you just felt it, and it was like no missing it, you know.
Yeah. So the interesting part about that is when, because sometimes I try to be okay with feeling like the other person feels awkward, and then just sitting, just being in the silence, something will just naturally come up, and I'll say something, and that feels great because I didn't force the conversation. It's something that I'm genuinely thinking and wanting to bring up. Now, remember, y'all, we're just two guys having a conversation. We are not psychologists. We're not therapists. We're just thinking through on topics of life. If you have any comments, please drop it below. But bro, I'm thinking about why do we feel that way? And some time ago, I was watching a show. I forget which show, but every single show does this. It's crazy because shows and movies are based off scripts. Your lines are written out for you, so there are no pauses. Since we were children, we have watched cartoons, shows, movies, sitcom, all kinds of things that there's line after line after line after line. Is the conversation over? Next scene. Line after line. There's no pause. There's no cuts. There's always action. Something is always happening. I think that's where we learn that from. I think that's where we learn how to converse with people. It's to see other people do it to that degree that we want to mimic it without even thinking about what we want to mimic. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that could be a part of it. What we see, definitely how we act, especially growing up. We watch stuff and we try to act like what we saw. I remember, when I saw a dude wearing a chain on TV, I wanted a chain. I saw him have a chain. He looked cool. He was smiling. He had a lady. Hey, where my chain at? I want to look cool and feel cool. And so yeah, I think that's a part of it. But I remember growing up, wanting to please people, specifically, when it was about friends, right? I remember, there's cliques where they dance or they fight. I remember I used to fight people, not because I wanted to, but because it'll make me fit and it'll please the people that I'm trying to hang with. You know what I mean? I beat them down. You know what I'm saying? I'm tough, just like everybody in this group. Yeah. What's up, son? You know what I mean? So it's like I fought people so that I can get those stripes, so I can please the crowd that I wanted to be, around when I was younger. And then also, I've done some crazy stunts, dance moves, flips off of tables, so that I could please whoever. I remember we used to flip off of the table, like cartwheel off of the table, bro. You know how dangerous that is, bro?
Oh, man, that's normal.
Yeah, right? So, cartwheeling off the table, bro, you could easily bust that. Bro, I seen kids jump off the table straight onto their head, bro. Ping!
Oh, they all right.
Big cartoon knot on their head. Yo, have you ever seen a knot grow out of somebody's head, bro?
Yeah, it looks scary, man.
Oh, my gosh.
It looks like if something pokes it, all your blood is just going to
bro, it feel like
out.
Bro, somebody once told me if you pop a mole, the person's going to die. Bro, I thought if you pop a knot, their head brain, their brains are going to gush out.
Their spirits are going to come out. Yeah.
I've seen knots grow on people's head. It's the craziest thing to see, bro. The scariest one was a knot that grew so large it was going into his eye, bro.
Oh.
That
Oh.
one was wild,
Whoa.
wild stuff, dog. Like
Dang.
as younger kids, I've seen that happen. So hopefully he has full brain capacity at this point. But
Hey, you know what's crazy? Why don't people in movies get knots? Because these people get hit with baseball bats,
oh
with
yeah,
table. Where are the knots at?
what are the knots, bro? The knots are inevitable, bro. You ever try to stop a knot, bro? You gotta press a big ice cube on that
Yeah,
guy,
you
bro.
do.
You gotta
And that's
press it,
scary.
and
Yeah,
you
you do.
feel, bro.
It hurts,
it's-
man. Yeah,
It
bro. That's
hurts.
yeah.
At the height, at the height, my guy, it is.
Yeah.
I've had my mom press my forehead before, with ice, trying to take the swelling down. I've
Dang.
had that. But the point is, I've done some things because I wanted to please the crowd that I wanted to be a part of, This, doing this stunt will make them like me or to make them think I'm about that action. Fighting this guy would, kissing this girl, slapping this girl's booty would. Oh, he did. Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Those
All
were some
for-
good times.
those were some hood, bro. We were out there we were out there, cuss.
Yeah, yep.
We out
yep.
there, cuss. Smacking
Yep.
people booty and all that. Oh, I did a kiss on the cheek. You ain't gonna kiss on the cheek though.
Yeah.
And the stunts never ended. It's like, okay, you smack her in the butt. What about kissing on the cheek though? I bet you won't do that.
Bet you won't do it when her mom's here.
Bet you yeah. And then it just get crazier and crazier. So
Bet you won't
Yeah.
jump off this building. How did
I
we
bet you
get
won't.
here?
I bet you won't flip off the wall, huh?
How did what?
Flip
I thought-
off of the wall.
I thought I was just stealing crackers, man. How did we get to
All
jumping
of us-
through windows, man?
All of a sudden, people breaking their necks just to fit in, man. it's crazy. It's crazy.
Ah.
Ah,
Yeah.
but yeah, now at this stage though, there are some incy spiders about the pleasing spout. There are some little things that we get caught in. I think, as human beings, to want to please somebody, to get them to like you in a certain way. That could be in your job, or that could be, whatever. But I think now, I really try to focus on what is important, because once you focus on what is important, then I guess pleasing others, it gets really small, Now, if you have to do something for your boss, I don't know if that's necessarily pleasing or not. That's just get the job done. But maybe in some ways, going out of your way, maybe trying to please your boss, doing extra perhaps, whatever it may be. But yeah, I think once you focus on what's important and what's more valuable, then then pleasing others might be smaller to you, or might not even be on the cards. So just the perspective, I guess, on my side of things, that has helped me to please people less, because at the end of the day, I'm only trying to please the Lord. We talking about Jesus out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's most important to me, and so that overshadows my life. Now, do I do that perfectly and everything? Nah, I'm not. I don't do everything pleasing in the Lord's sight, but that's what I'm striving to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's selfish moments, of course, but that is the bigger picture for me now than others.
So is that the important thing you're talking about? Because when you're standing there talking to Jimmy John about the weather and it gets awkward, what is the important thing? What keeps you from trying to
Oh,
please
like
them?
what? Well, in that situation, I think is different. That's more so a different side of things when it comes to pleasing. When it comes to that, I just accept the fact that, hey man, either the awkward moment comes now or later, but it's gonna come. Even when you're good friends with people, there might still be awkward moments. It might be very, very rare, but it still can happen. You know what I mean? So that, so from my perspective, I don't really try to avoid the awkward conversation or the awkward moments as much. I rather say, okay, where we're gonna go from here? Are we gonna emphasize it or not? You know, cause there's been some times where, you know, even to this day, I felt awkward in conversation, but I move forward. You know, I don't stay in that awkward state of mind. You know, I move forward and be like, oh, you know, that happened. What's next?
So, you ever struggle with pleasing people? Yeah, I mean, so what's your general sense of advice to or counsel are two average guys just having a conversation counsel to someone who has an issue pleasing others?
Well, what's more important is the question. You know, is pleasing others really the most important thing in the situation? Do you want to really break your neck to please others and them not even notice it or them not even acknowledge it or give you something in return out of your service? Is that most important to you, just for the sake of you getting something from people, or is it more important because the question is what's important to you, and if that's important to you, you got to ask yourself some other questions. Why is it important to you? You know, and if the reason why is something that has nothing to do with you per se, but all to do with how they see you, then you know, I guess you're in the wrong boat, because we can't live on how others see us, because then we'll never accept ourselves, you know, because what we think ourself is is based on what they say it is. It's not on how you see yourself, and from that perspective, they're controlling you. They're controlling how you value your own self, and that's not a healthy thing as your own individual. You know,
Mm,
that's not a healthy way to go through life situations and be a regular person. You know,
yeah.
living for somebody else that didn't create you is something of great torment, you know, and you'll never find satisfaction. But
Yeah.
if you're going based off of the creator and the one who loves you more than anybody else in this world, I guess that's a great spot to be in, because what he says is valuable because he knows you better than you. So from that
Yeah.
perspective, is how I live, and that's why it's the bigger picture on what's important, which is pleasing him. And so that's where I come from. That's my basis.
Yeah, I would even say there's a sense of selfishness in pleasing others. You'd be like, "What? What do you mean?" Well, when you please others, it's supposed to make you feel good about yourself, or it's supposed to make you feel comfortable about yourself, which I would say that goes for me too. There's a sense of, "Oh, I feel this awkwardness that you may be feeling." Well, it's not about me. It's not about how I'm feeling. It's about how the conversation is going. So there's a sense of awkwardness, selfishness there. But you know, if you just if you're just trying to fit in with people, say the things that people need to hear, do the things that you think people expect you to do, like you're saying, yeah, what is important here? What are you actually trying to do? Because after that person gets that sense of comfortability of you just wanting to please them and all of these things, well, yeah, what is left? What are you actually doing? You know, the most someone feels the most and that's what you were talking about. People feel the most comfortable around you when you are your most comfortable self. So that guy who was very awkward, um, you were like, okay, that's just how he is. Let me
Yeah,
get used to it.
yeah.
We're talking about sensible things of feeling comfortable, because we're not talking about dressing up like a dog and running around. Oh, I feel the most comfortable dressed up as a dog. You have to accept me and feel comfortable too. I don't know if I would feel comfortable around that. You might come
No.
lick me or something. I don't
Yeah,
know where your
we ain't
mouth has
that,
been.
man. Chill out
Yep.
with all that.
Yep. So we're talking about sensible, common sense things here, not that stuff. But yeah, just socially speaking, interactively speaking, pleasing other people's wise speaking, you do have to be your most, because once you start to feel that awkwardness, I'm sure that other person will also feel that awkwardness. I'm sure they're going to feed off of you. So give people something that they can feed off of, that's, solid and grounded. And where else can you find that but in your true identity, which we speak on, which is Christ, because he holds your true identity. You don't. You don't even know who you are. Sometimes you don't even know why you like the things you like. You have no idea who you are. You have no idea what your true desires are. You just go off of, I feel this today, I feel that tomorrow, I want to smash her today, and I want to break up with him tomorrow. You just do whatever it is that you feel like doing. But Christ holds your true identity. So I think what you said, you're right. Feeding off of that identity and what's important, it'll help you stay grounded and be able to interact with people the way you're supposed to. Without further ado, we're moving on to our interactive section, Choose Your Fate. This one, my guy, is straightforward. It's a simple one. No semantics, no this or that. You know what I'm saying? I usually like doing that stuff to you, but this one is simple. Let's get on with it. Choose your fate. You get to be a bachelor forever, have fun, go to expensive restaurants, get nice toys like cars, your tools, get a beautiful bachelor house, throw parties on the weekends for your friends to come over, fellowship, enjoy, and then they leave you just doing your thing, man. It's great. Or you could have a wife and 10 kids, have that intimacy of love, be able to foster and disciple kids that come out into the world. You see them do great things.
And now we talk.
They give God the glory. They're like, oh, my dad taught me this, and I thank my dad so much for doing this. You get some level of human praise, which doesn't matter, but it's we have to acknowledge it feels good to a certain degree. So 10 of your kids are just doing great in the world. You're able to support your wife. You're able to love her. She feels protected and loved. She's flourishing. She's changing into this human being that's just beautiful. And you're like, dang, thank you, God. Or, I had a hand in helping this come to fruition. You're just bringing the dynamic of family together and everyone is just being fruitful. Man, you got to pick one.
Bro, that's a obvious.
Well, but hold on. I gotta add something to this. In the Bible, it says in your single season, that is when you're able to give yourself the most to the Lord. So, all of that I just said about the wife and stuff, you can feel all of that beauty and joy and happiness in serving the Lord with all of your time, spending time in the Word, just growing, discipling young men. There's fruit and joy in that too. So don't just jump to the wife, man. You got to think about this, man. All right. I'm done. I'm done.
Just when I thought it was like a perfect, easy answer, you're gonna try to add a twister, some twisty treats in there. No, but I mean, as a bachelor, man, from my Christian perspective, we ain't out busting suds like that. We ain't going out there busting suds. You know what I'm saying? At least if you're, on the right track, you ain't busting suds. But if you're sipping up, that's on you. I mean, your relationship with the Lord is the most important one. But, at a certain point, it's going to be hard to spend the same time as you did before. It's going to be more challenging. It's still possible, but it's going to be very challenging. So, but all in all, man, shoot, I'm picking the 10 kids, man. I want a family and a wife. Oh, shoot, a wife that's beautiful, just down the third, and come on, don't
10
let me do
children.
Don't let me do a praise break in this thing.
10.
A 10-piece McNugget, dog. Remember those?
Yeah, I remember those, man. 10-piece though? Dang. What were you
I
doing?
I do it. Hey, listen, we getting down to action. We doing husband and wife things.
What are you talking about? Are we still talking about the chicken McNuggets?
We talking about chicken McNuggets, but how we got the chicken McNuggets is we had to do the husband and wife things.
So you're doing so in your singleness, right? In the bachelor, the Bible also allows us to know that the Lord grants us the gift of being content in singleness. So
Huh?
you wouldn't be going around smashing people. No, it's a gift. It's not everyone, oh, I want to be single, and then the Lord grants you the gift
Oh
of
yeah,
singleness. You
yeah,
know?
yeah. But that's not gonna be me.
But how do you know? That's what I'm saying in this scenario. If
In that
you were to be
scenario,
single, yeah, you wouldn't be going around trying to bust us. You would be content being a bachelor.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But we gotta choose which one we want, though, right?
Yeah, yeah, but why would
I
you
don't
choose
want
a
that one.
bachelor? Come on, man.
I
Come
don't want
on,
that
man.
one.
Come on, man.
I
We
don't want that
could.
one. I need to get the suds out.
Ew, man. But I'm saying you won't need to.
Yeah, I know, but I don't want that one. I don't want that one, man.
Okay. 10 kids
Woo!
is a lot, man. 10 kids. Have you seen the parents who have like 2 kids and they act like the world is coming to an end?
Well, what you
You
doing,
with
man?
10 kids? You with 10 kids? That's wild.
It's
Oh,
gonna be
man.
wild. It's gonna be a wild ride.
That's insane. We met a man today who said he had 10 grandchildren. I was like, dang, that's even a lot. Let alone 10 kids living in your house. What is this? Home Alone Part 4? Um, what would I do? I mean, seeing as I'm married already, it would be
Well,
weird
nah,
if I chose the bachelor life. Like, oh, I want to be a
nah.
bachelor.
Well, but in the scenario, just forget what's currently and just headstrong on the scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a really tough one because I am really good by myself. I've gotten really good at that. I think it takes a certain person to be content being single. Not the sexual part. Not the sexual part. Because if you have sexual needs, you just have sexual needs. You know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing you can do about needing a wife. But yeah. Huh. 10 kids and a wife or a bachelor life for life. Sheesh. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Because you're still a
but
human.
yeah.
Yeah, and to that point, you would know that you have a part. But in this case, you're content on not using it, but you know that you have one though.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, for the sake of legacy and bringing up people with some good strong standards
Yeah.
and pouring into I would have to say the wife and 10 kids, man, because at the end of the day, I think I can't even say that. I was going to say you end up adding more value to people's lives than if you were single, but that's not true because singleness in the Christian community has a lot of ways that you can give your time to. So I'd have to say the wife and kids because the family is a foundation. It's a pillar in the Lord's establishment of how our society or our world operates. And I value that. I value that because man and woman, it's a good thing. There's a lot of pleasure in that. There's a lot of growth in that. And the
Yep.
Lord uses our spouses to grow us in a different kind of way. And it's interesting to see that.
It's interesting, man. You learn stuff, you see stuff differently. It's really cool, man. You know,
Yeah.
even though at this episode I'm not married at the moment, you know, is seeing people go through that change is like, whoa, he's different,
Yeah.
or well,
Yep.
she's different, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And it makes you not want to be involved in things as a single person, especially as a single person. You have a lot of time on your hands, so you might get into this, you might get into that.
Mm-hmm.
When you're married and you got 10 kids, what are friends? You want to text me? You know what I'm saying? What are friends for real? Like, are you gonna hey, anyway, without further ado, that was our choose your fate. If you guys have a specific fate that you want to, you have a really good reason as to choosing, comment down below. Let us know. Interact with us. We, once again, are just two guys having a conversation. We are just exploring these topics. If you want to contact us or reach us, see us at holyduo2020@gmail.com. The links will be in the description. Our different audio exclusive, all of them. Our different audio exclusive platform links are going to be in the description. Go check us out there. Go see us on social media platforms. We're about to be posting a lot more to Instagram and Facebook. By the time you guys see this podcast, we already done did that. So, without further ado, man, you have anything else to say before we out of here?
Nope, man. Let's be out. And y'all already know what it is, man. It's your man EddyEd.
Hey, it's Dialogue, folks.
And we're only holy
because he is. And remember, faith don't come expensive.
It's free.
It's free. Peace.